Welcome to the show called Beyond Our Galaxy. On today's show, we're going to be talking about the following things. Constellations and stars. We Earthlings live in a big place called the universe. Our universe is at least 5 light years long and more. Bigger. It could be as long as 12 billion light years long. Astronomers like the following have often wondered just how big our universe was: Aristotle, Galileo, Hubble. They all studied and wondered with great passion about how big was our universe. With the advent of the invention of the Hubble telescope, as seen in the next few pictures, they would have been awestruck. If only Aristotle, Galileo, and Hubble were able to see what astronomers have to use today, like the Hubble Space Telescope, I think they would be astonished at what they could have seen. Hey Hub, how's it feel to have a telescope named after you? Can't quite say, Gal. Hey Gal, care for a smoke? No thanks, Hub. It's bad for my asthma. Besides, I tried it in 5th grade and got sick for 3 days. Sorry to hear that, Gal. About the telescope. It's simply fascinating. Yup. Just think, if Copernicus and I would have had that to study with, we could have been more famous. But Gal, you're already famous. How's that, Hub? Well, you turned the whole Catholic Church upside down and Copernicus got excommunicated. Hey, Hub, can you give me a smoke, please? Sure, Gal. I know you need to calm your nerves. Astronomy sure can be nerve-wracking, and I'm sure the Catholic Church ain't gonna like see me smoke either. Don't feel bad, Gal. I feel the same way sometimes about that space telescope also. Hey, Hub, can I have a smoke too? What is a constellation? A constellation is a fixed pattern of stars that form a shape or image, like an animal or familiar object Earthlings can recognize. Here are a few examples for one to see what these objects look like. We will now begin to look at the constellations by using the most recognizable one familiar to astronomers: Orion the Hunter. As one can see here, Orion the Hunter is the most recognizable constellation in the night sky. Here, Orion's pattern can be very noticeable in the sky. This is what makes studying the constellations so fun and interesting. When one finds the constellations in the sky and recognizes the pattern, this becomes more fun. And the two most brightest stars in the Orion, the Hunter constellations are Betelgeuse, which is located in the north of the constellation, and Rigel, which is located in the southern part of the constellation. Orion is the hunter who gets his game he is looking for. Here is a picture of Orion the Hunter without the pattern drawn through it. Now let's begin to connect the stars together with dot to dot. Now do you get the connections? Orion the Hunter without the dots. The other familiar thing in the Orion constellations are the three stars that are found in the middle of the pattern. These three middle stars is where Orion the Hunter places his sword. Now one should be able to get that form or image in their mind and be able to identify it more easier the next time they see it. Here's one in the form of an animal. Cygnus the Swan. The constellation of the last picture is another familiar object in the night sky. Here in the constellation Cygnus the Swan is set free as she flies through the night sky as a free bird. Are you now getting the connections? Start by finding the main star like where this arrow is pointing to first. When one begins to learn the constellations in the night sky, learn them by looking for the easiest ones first. Then the other ones will become easier to find. Here's an object we can find in the night sky. This constellation is a real simple one to find. However, one can only find this constellation in the southern hemisphere of planet Earth. When we Earthlings look for constellations in the night sky, we find that there are two hemispheres to find constellations in. The northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. There are a total of 31 constellations in the northern hemisphere and 52 in the southern hemisphere. 5 constellations are found at the celestial area of the sky. The Southern Cross can be only seen by those people who live in the southern hemisphere of Earth. We have now taken a look at 3 different types of constellations that form a certain pattern. A human, an animal, an object. Again, there are 2 hemispheres where Earthlings can look for these constellations. The northern hemisphere, the southern hemisphere. There are once more a total of 88 constellations altogether. There are 31 constellations in the northern hemisphere, and 52 constellations in the southern hemisphere. 5 constellations are found in the celestial sphere. There's also what is called the zodiac constellations. There are a total of 12 zodiac constellations altogether as well. These 12 zodiac constellations are in a fixed setting around the Earth. These are used by astrologers as well to try and predict the future. Such an astronomer who used astrology with astronomy was Danish astronomer Tycho Brahe. Astronomers in the past combined these 2 subjects for one purpose. To help keep funding their astronomy careers they wanted to do. If these astronomers predicted the future correctly for royalty, they would be paid very well to help them continue their work in astronomy. If these astronomers predicted the royalty's future incorrectly, their careers would end up in poverty. So, by learning your way around the night sky, an Earthling can begin to enjoy the study of the constellations. The sailors also used the constellations to help them find their way across the high seas as well. The sailors did this by locating the brightest star in the night sky. Polaris. Polaris is located in the constellation we call the Little Dipper. The star Polaris is one of the most brightest stars in the night sky. And can easily help guide those who sail across the sea safely to shore. Here is a picture of the star Polaris in the constellation of the Little Dipper. Again, Polaris is one of the most brightest stars in the night sky. When one finds Polaris, one can easily find both the Little and the Big Dipper at the same time. Stars come in different sizes and brightness as well. Star classifications come in what is called magnifications and types. For example, the star called Rigel, found in the constellation of Orion, is a magnitude 0.2 star in terms of brightness. Rigel is a type of bluish star as well. Rigel is located some 770 light years away from Earth. The more negative magnitude a star is, the brighter it is. The more positive the star is, the less brighter it gets. Rigel is a bluish white star, being in color. The star Rigel is located in the constellation of Orion. Again, its magnitude is 0.2. Again, it is located in the bottom part of Orion. So, as one can see, the numbers of the star tell astronomers the brightness of a star. The alphabet letters tell us the color of the star. Our next star is found in the constellation of Orion as well. A star called Betelgeuse. The star Betelgeuse is a magnitude 1.2 star. Betelgeuse is a red supergiant star. Betelgeuse is the 8th brightest star in the night sky. Our next star is called Antares. Antares is located in the constellation of Scorpius. Antares is the brightest star here in this constellation. Antares is the 15th brightest star in the night sky. Antares is a plus 1.0 magnitude star and is considered to be a red supergiant. Antares is located some 470 light years away from Earth. Our next star is called VY Canis Major. This is a gigantic star indeed. VY Canis Major is a type O star, or a bluish color kind of star. So what is the biggest star in the universe? VY Canis Major. This star is a red hypergiant type star. Here in this picture is a comparison to Earth's size. Here is a comparison of star to our sun. It is located in the constellation called the Big Dog. We now can ask this next question. What is the closest star to planet Earth? Well, the answer is this. It's Alpha Centaurus. Alpha Centaurus is a magnitude of 15.5. It is a yellow dwarf type star. How far is Alpha Centaurus from Earth? Alpha Centaurus is 4 light years away from Earth. Alpha Centaurus is interesting to study. Why are astronomers so interested in Alpha Centaurus? Astronomers and scientists hope to find an Earth-like planet there someday. Just how long will it take Earthlings to travel to Alpha Centaurus? Well, if one were to travel in a spaceship called the Jupiter 2, it would take 5 years. Otherwise, it would take some 100 years to make it to Alpha Centaurus. So, just how do astronomers determine what size and color a star is? By a chart called the Hertzsprung-Russell diagram, as seen in this next picture. As one can see here, this chart shows the number of the magnitudes and the type of star is. Well, now you know a little something about the constellations and stars. All one needs to do is go outside at night and look up in a clear sky and start looking around the night sky. Only time will tell what we Earthlings will find when we look up into the night sky and beyond our galaxy.